Hey there, I'm going to show you a quick way to UV just about anything with as few tools as possible. So here are two objects that I've already UV'd. First thing we're going to want to do in order to UV is go over to this workspace tab and go down to UV editing. All this can be accessible through UV tab up here, but this way is easier in general. So first thing we're going to want to do in order to get UVs such as this or such as this is let's erase all the current UVs that exist. So select edge, select all the edges in the object, and then we can go down to something we're going to use a lot, which is the cut and sew tool. And here we're going to sew them. And what that does is connects all of them together. And I know this looks bad, but we'll fix that in a second. So now what we're going to want to do is select edges, and then we want to select edges wherever we think a cut in the UV should exist. So I think one should be here because it's kind of hidden and it'll separate this top half from all these others. And in order to do that, once I select the edges, I select cut over here, and then you'll see here that it separates it into two different UV shells. And if you want this colored option to where you can see the different types of UVs based on colors, you go over to View, Shaded, hit that box, and then you click on Multicolor, and then you can close. And so now what we're going to do is just select edges anywhere that we think an edge cut should be, and then we will cut them here, and then I will pick it up back when we get there. Something to keep in mind is that you want to make edge loops in places that or you want to make cuts in the UVs in places that you generally wouldn't see them in a game or whatever place that you're going to use this object. So that's why I'm trying to keep it generally in places that people wouldn't notice, such as in crevices or behind things. So cut there. You can see here it looks like these are about the same color. They are different shells though, they just have a very similar color. So I'm going to go ahead and finish UVing this, and then I will get back when I'm done. All right, now it looks like we're about done cutting and sewing. Then you can see that I added some lines, or I cut along these edges right here, so that this cylinder would be able to be split and unfolded. You want to, when making UVs, keep in mind that everything you UV, every shell you make has to be able to be unfolded, or else it'll look kind of weird once it does unfold. And so something you can do to check how things are going is if you select everything, go up here to unfold, you'll kind of see how objects are looking, and you can move them around and play with them just to make sure But this is usually what I do just to test things. And then once all these are looking good, then what I do is you can go, let's select this object, or you can select all the UV shells. And then you go to modify, layout, and then copy these settings. Usually I think it defaults to unfold 3D, but select legacy, and then copy these settings with layout object, single or multiple, pre-scale to object, shell layout into region with a scale mode of uniform, and shell stacking, shell stacking to shape. And then hit layout, and then you'll see it'll do a pretty good job of laying out the UVs. And now usually what I do is I just adjust these, rotate them, maybe scale them a little more so that they have a little more priority on objects that I think are going to be more visible to the player, such as this UV. I might make this one bigger and make one like this one a little smaller because people won't see this as much. And something you can do to just check that it's looking good is hit this, and you'll see that all the UVs currently with this layout tool are about the same size. And so that's about all you need in order to UV well. You can kind of see, I'll show you on this object as well that, and I'll remove this, that, oops, most of the UV lines I have are hidden as best as possible, especially in things like the eyeball. You can see that the UV line that I made is actually behind it. And with spheres, you just have to have one line that connects from bottom to top, and it should be good. And so that goes with the claws and the eyelashes and the nose as well. Then with the body, I just split the wings off from the body. And then I put one line from the bottom of the body to the top. And then I stacked similar objects that weren't important, such as these legs down here. So both of them I stacked. Click one, see. And all of these tools, if you want to do that, are in here in this UV toolkit under the UV editing workspace. And you can, there are other preset things that you can do with it that'll be helpful. But that's mostly what I use if I want to make a quick UV. Thanks for watching.